there's one thing that kind of bums me out that I haven't finished. That's just still there. It's still there, and I still want to do it. So I have this like challenge on Money Lab called SEO Impossible. And have you seen that? I I have the whole like blueprint on like what it is I'm gonna do. I just haven't pulled the trigger and like finishing that, and it bums me out. Maybe it's a thing for 2021. I don't know. Maybe it's a perfect thing for a YouTube video to start out, because I feel like that would be an awesome YouTube video to see that start to finish. You know?
Yeah, and for the people that don't know, I mean, basically, you were trying to rank number one for affiliate marketing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is
I
that the
before so yeah before that it was email marketing, but yeah, it's affiliate marketing. Like trying to rank number one for an impossible keyword by by pulling out every trick I have. Not spending any money, just every trick that every little trade that I'm good at. Graphic design, website design, video. A little bit of coding, just like everything.
But you don't build links, and you got to build links to rank number one, right?
Well, that was the. I mean, look, if I can do it right, if I can build this thing that's amazing, and I can send out a tweet, and people are like, "What the hell? This is absolutely insanely amazing," then won't everybody link to it? And what if? So the whole thing is, if I can prove that it doesn't take backlinks to rank number one, and it may, just because I don't build them doesn't mean I don't believe in them. I mean, they
Yeah,
definitely help. And
yeah,
it's like if everything I published, I had a backlink building strategy, I would be way better off, and I would be faster where I am now. But I wait for them to come organically, and then here I am. But with SEO Impossible, the idea is that it's impossible. It's impossible to rank for affiliate marketing. How do you do that? Like, how do you
yeah,
beat the top person there? I'm doing it through sheer content alone. And
yeah,
if I'm right, obviously it's like an unattainable goal for a lot of people, because I have like a robust skill set, and you could argue it would cost somebody who didn't have my skill set like a ton of money to produce something like that. So it would be like an impossible task, but that's the whole point. And it would just
yeah,
I think it would be so fascinating, even if I got on the first page. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
it's still like, okay, so it's possible to have nothing, because you'd have to start with like a site that you just bought the domain name. I can't, I could cheat and be like, it's on moneylab.co. And then that has like, thousands of backlinks already for years that I've had the site. Or I could start a brand new site from nothing, create one post, and will it actually, I think that's,
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, and I mean,
I think it's fascinating no matter the outcome, right? It's like,
I think, well, and that's the thing, the cool part. And someone mentioned that would be a great Money Lab video.
yeah,
Basically, the cool thing with YouTube, and there are channels that like started and or they are based on 30-day challenges of whatever it is. There
yeah,
are many of them, and the thing is, like, even if it doesn't work, you at least
have a
documented
story.
it, you talked through it, you got the
Right.
story. Yeah. So, and I think the key with like I'm just thinking like, oh, how would you do it without, because it would take forever to build the backlinks manually. You would have to go
Mhm.
on like a campaign of like podcast and YouTube and like lean on your fame, Matt. Like,
Which
hey, I
would be
want to be on your
unfair.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be unfair, but it's like, all right, like it's generally impossible, right? Like, who, I don't even know who's ranking number one
I
or on the
think it's
first
Neil
page.
Patel. So I don't think it's impossible. I think it's so that's like truly, I believe it's possible. And I believe that somebody can outdo him and outdo anybody that's up there. I just think I don't think it takes I mean, obviously there's promotion, but I think you have to do, so my whole thing is, and this is, again, this is the homebrewing video as an example. Like, it's like an over delivery strategy. I looked at that video and I was like, I could just do a vlog like Casey Neistat, where it like has lo-fi music, and I'm, telling just a general story, and I'm talking into a camera. But in my head, I'm like, I hate that style of video. And everyone's just gonna be like, oh, you're just doing Casey Neistat. You're just doing what every other YouTuber does. And so I tried to push, and there's definitely elements of that, because that's how I filmed it. So I had no other choice but to do that. But there were elements of like documentary, like tactics that I took from certain like there's actually two movies that I just talked about. There's just two movies that that I didn't steal, but the ideas came from those movies. to incorporate in the video. Which one of them is the country song that's in the middle of the video, just which no one would ever suspect when you started watching it. But like all of a sudden, there's this fucking country song, and it's a silly parody. But I got the idea from it from Team America, where like they just sing a song like "Freedom Isn't Free," and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
that song cracks me up, and I was like, and I don't know why I remembered it, but I was like, oh. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, just in the middle of this video, it just went into like a country montage for no, like, just a sad moment of like, a country song. And so like I wrote it and I put it in there, but then I had to come up with like, why does this happen? Like, why is this in there? And then that was the whole like, I have this conversation with the plumber that doesn't exist. And so like that was that. The idea of the visual of that came from Pop Star, the movie with the Lonely Island guys. There's a scene where they're being attacked by bees, and or there's this giant killer bee, and yeah, and they just put the words on the screen, and they don't actually show what's happening because it's an insanely over budgeted thing that they were doing. It's funny. It's a funny bit, but it just gave me the satisfaction to be like, oh, I don't have to like actually film anything. I could put this on screen, which is something I could do in my basement, and it would work. Like it would make sense. So yeah, I just wanted to create this like delight and surprise and kind of go above what people thought from like a video like this. So what I want to happen is you watch this video because a guy builds a home brewery in 40 days or whatever, because you want to learn something, and then you watch it and you're like, what that was not what I expected it to be. That was like it was like a level above, and I feel like that's a hard thing to do, but it's a really fun thing to think about. And if you can do it and pull it off, I mean, like anybody who watches that video, I hope comes away like, I like this. I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and whatever comes next, like I want more of it. And I think you just can't buy that kind of thing, right? Like, and I'm not going to get a lot of people because, it's very niche. It's a very like specific thing. But if I can win you over like in one video, I mean, and I have to keep doing that. But I can take my time because I feel like it's like when you watch the history of the world or the history of Japan or like the Mount St. Helens, video, like you watch that, you're like, this is unbelievably amazing. You share it with everybody, whether they like music or not, whether they live near St. Helens or not. Like it's just that good. And it takes them, months, if not years, to produce shit like that. And he goes down into the annals of history of like being like the YouTuber that every other YouTuber looks up to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he makes no money at it. So that's a very specific example.
And I'm gonna have to look. I don't even know what you're talking about, so I'm gonna have to look it up.
No,
So, no,
you've never seen History of the World.
no. And I was gonna say YouTube's so big that it's like there can be some massive, like a cultural thing, like it sounds like you're talking about, and I don't even know
Mm,
what you're talking about. So,
yeah. It actually might be like the most popular video on YouTube ever.
yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
I don't
Can you
even
can
know.
you even look that up anymore? Can you look up like? Remember I used to look up like lifetime, like best the most popular videos on YouTube ever made ever. Like it used
I
to have
don't
like they
know.
used to have like a
Yeah,
filter. I don't think they do anymore.
maybe not.